Now, everybody wants to make money on social media, but there's a lot of social media platforms and they all pay you wildly differently. So today we're going to go through the main ones and see how much they actually pay you and if they're worth your time. Because if you're going to be pouring hours into creating content, then you want to make sure it's worth your while. Social media typically doesn't pay most people. The majority of creators, they make little to nothing. But of course, there's lots of opportunity there to make a lot of money on each of these platforms. And with all of these, they don't typically come from just one source. There's a lot of different ways to make money on social media. If we're looking at the main ones though, it's going to be ad revenue, brand deals, affiliate marketing, and selling products and services. So when we're going through and trying to work out which platform pays the most, the real question we're asking is which platform gives you the best opportunities to make money. So let's start with YouTube. So YouTube is one of the highest paying platforms, and that's because once you're monetized, it pays you AdSense. So the ads that run in your video, it's guaranteed income as long as you're monetized. So as long as you're in the partner program on YouTube, you will get AdSense. It's also super easy to put affiliate links in descriptions, for example. And if you're selling any digital products or services, again, you can actively promote them on your content. And then YouTube has a really long shelf life for its content. So these can just carry on promoting what you want to sell. YouTube's also released a option to basically run memberships on your channel as well. Although you can just use something like Patreon. So you don't have to go through YouTube for this. And people almost expect creators these days to have a Patreon. So it means when you send people to Patreon, people know it's a trusted platform. Now, if we're looking at the actual earnings here, if we're looking at numbers, it varies wildly. And that's because there's RPMs and CPMs. So revenue per milli and cost per milli. But the main thing you have to worry about is RPM, because that's what you get paid. Now, these can really, really vary because you have gaming channels down to finance channels. So there's a massive difference in how much you're getting per 1,000 views. It could be as low as $1 per 1,000 views or as high as $15. It really depends on your niche and also where your audience is based. But the ad revenue from YouTube is effectively one of the best ad revenue sources of income out of all social media. And remember, that's just ads. Once you take into account affiliate links and products, that number then shoots up massively. Also, sponsorships and brand deals, they really target YouTubers, and you can get long-term partnerships with them. They pay out a massive amount. So YouTube has massive upside. It's just very competitive, but then all social media platforms are. But YouTube is, in my opinion, the best platform for long-term money. TikTok. So TikTok rewards creators using their creator rewards program. There's also brand deals, and you can also promote affiliate links, and you can do live GIFs. However, the earnings are a lot lower, and that's because with short form content, you get less space for ads. So the views you get on a TikTok might not really pay you that much. You know, it can be from like 30 cent to 80 cent per 1,000 views on TikTok, which means even if you got 1 million views, that would be only $300 to $800, which is still good. You don't necessarily want to turn down that money, but at the same time, for 1 million views, it's not massive. And this is why a lot of creators say TikTok doesn't pay well directly. Also, you don't get paid out directly unless your videos are a minute long. And with short form content on TikTok, most videos aren't over a minute. However, most TikTokers do make a lot more money from brand deals and also affiliate sales. Also with TikTok, if one of your posts does go viral, it can be amazing for growth. It's just not amazing for direct income. You can, however, get involved in TikTok Shop and promote products through that. And any sales that are made through your video, you get paid a commission. So that's a whole new opportunity there as well. So with TikTok, you really have to focus on the brand side of things to really make a lot of money. Instagram. So Instagram is a bit similar to TikTok in that you get paid for brand deals, affiliate marketing, and selling products. So it's similar to TikTok, only you don't even get any direct income from Instagram. It doesn't really pay you for views, it pays you for influence. So if you do have a big Instagram page, then brand deals can be really effective because especially how it looks in your feed. So if you're doing like a sponsored post, you can have a series of them all looking in your Instagram feed, looking really good aesthetically. That can be really helpful for brands to essentially be drawn to your page. Obviously, some of these deals can be massive. On the sort of lower end of the spectrum, where you've got 10k to 50k followers, you're probably looking at about $100 to $500 per post, which is great. But you obviously have to build up to that amount of followers in the first place, and that can be tough on Instagram. The larger creators, however, can get thousands per post, but you have to build a massive following to get there. So the best way probably to use Instagram if you're a smaller creator is to directly promote your service or product, rather than waiting to build up your following to get brand deals. So realistically, your income depends more on niche, audience, and engagement. LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is quite different, and that's because it pays you through clients, freelancing, consulting, and job opportunities. So it's very different to the other platforms. It more creates work rather than being paid directly from the platform itself. Because of this, it's very hard to bring you numbers on how much you get paid, because depending on what you get work from, so you could be, consulting, for example, and be earning up to $200 per hour, but also you might not be in an industry that really warrants that cost. So LinkedIn is a bit of a tricky one to work out the exact earnings. But then again, LinkedIn, although it doesn't pay you per view, one client can be worth thousands and thousands of views elsewhere. So LinkedIn is more ideal if you have a very particular service or skill that you're trying to push and promote, but you're not really going to go viral on LinkedIn, or it's incredibly unlikely. It's very much going after niche audiences or very particular people to really make LinkedIn work. So it might not be for everyone. If we're trying to be an influencer, for example, or a content creator, LinkedIn might be a bit of a tough one. But the audience there can be incredibly lucrative because you can literally see their job title, you know who you're going for. So if you are going after a particular audience, LinkedIn makes it easier. Pinterest. So Pinterest is great because it's kind of similar to YouTube in that your shelf life of your content could be months, sometimes years. It essentially pays through blog traffic, affiliate links, and digital products. And that's because on Pinterest you can create posts and content and directly link a product or affiliate link, which makes it super easy for the person to literally just click through. And especially because of the shelf life of your content on Pinterest is so much better. Like with Instagram, your shelf life is like a few days. On Pinterest, it can be up to a year, if not more. So it just makes a lot of sense to be pushing products on Pinterest over Instagram, unless you're trying to push a brand, but you can also do that on Pinterest as well. Again, with Pinterest, it doesn't pay directly like YouTube AdSense. But with affiliate commissions, you can get a lot of money from this if your posts get a lot of traction and traffic. And if you have a blog you want to push traffic to as well, Pinterest is great for that. So Pinterest, overall, it's less instant money or direct money from Pinterest, but it scales well if you're trying to get long-term traffic to something. So which pays the most? Well, it's a bit of a tricky one to answer that because they can all vary massively. I think in terms of long-term growth, if you're happy to create long-form content, YouTube is arguably the best. That being said, with LinkedIn, if you have a particular skill, you can make thousands if you find the right audience there. Or if you're trying to scale a product-based business or build up your affiliate links, then Pinterest can be great. There's benefits to all of them, really. It does depend on what you're trying to create, what you're trying to push, and what you're really trying to sell. So the platform itself, it doesn't really pay you the most. It's more how you use each of these. But of course, you don't have to focus on just one. You can try and tackle all of these at the same time. Just don't burn yourself out. Just try and stick with it. And you could potentially see a lot of money from each of these. So as long as you're consistent, then you have a good chance. But let me know which platform you're going for and leave a comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, hit like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.